So the name of the course is User Interface Design Masterclass with HTML5 and CSS3 with SAS, Flex, and grid layout system. So basically, as you all of know, that HTML and CSS and JavaScript, these are the three. You can say JavaScript is a language, but HTML and CSS, these are the scripting languages. As such, they are not languages, but they are called as languages. So these are basically used for creating the web pages, as many of you know. But since last 10 years, there are so many platforms and frameworks available which led the HTML and CSS and JavaScript in the domain of mobile application as well as desktop application. So in the due course of time, we will see all these technologies that we are going to uh, like, or rather, we'll introduce ourselves with these technologies, and mainly we will focus on HTML5 and CSS3 and little bit of JavaScript at the end. Uh, Let me first give you the overview of this course. Like, if I may share, if I have already shared the course brochure and you may have gone through it. So basically, this course brochure contains the plan, and I will stick to it as far as possible. But if the time permits, I will also go beyond it, and we may cover many contents which are not mentioned in the course plan. But definitely, contents will be more than the course plan, not less than that. Okay. So as you can see, in this each session will be near about 75 minutes to 90 minutes. It's in between 1.3 1.5 hours, okay, near about. And every session we will cover some concepts. So in the today's session, we will go through the introduction of the course, what is the content of the course, its relevance and the need. And then we will go through the installation of the course tools and downloading the course resources. And again, we will see introductory part of HTML5 and CSS3. So all of you should go to this course content that I have prepared. Okay, and we will try to stick to it. Okay, if you have any question, now how this course will go, the question and answer session we will carry out at the end of the session. Okay, in between session, I will prefer that you will not ask any question. If you have any doubts, please mention or write it down on your notebook, and at the end of the session, you can ask. Okay, because it may disturb the flow of many students who are in tune with the session. So in this session, we will first understand what is the course content, its relevance and the need of the session, and then installation of the various tools and downloading the course resources, and also the introduction to HTML5 and CSS3. Now, first of all, let me tell you that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, there is a misconception still, is that these are only used for developing the website. It is quite true. They are used for developing the websites, but nowadays these three technologies are also used for developing mobile application, which normally called as a hybrid mobile application, and these are also used for developing the desktop application. The most popular application that you can, or all of you are must be using, is the Gmail. Now this Gmail is developed using these three technologies, or rather there is one framework called as Angular, which is very popular, and Gmail is totally made in the Angular framework. And this Angular framework is built over these three technologies, that is HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript, or mainly the TypeScript, which is an object-oriented version of JavaScript. So these three technologies are very, very popular nowadays. Since Java, C, C++, these languages are there in the syllabus, but we normally don't learn the JavaScript till you go to the final year. And in your final year second semester, you have this subject called as web technology. And there you will learn all these three, HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. But nowadays, if you go over the internet and search what is the importance of these technologies, you will find that many of the projects currently going on okay, are basically using these three technologies, right? So whenever you are going on the internet, or whenever your application is communicating uh, on the internet, okay, somewhere or the other way, these three technologies are involved in some somewhat sense, right? So web pages are there, web applications are there, and mobile applications are there. The popular mobile application that is developed using these three technologies, I can name is one is Instagram, okay, that you are using, then Facebook, okay, then Facebook uses the PHP at the backend, but I guess they have modified it, and now they are using React, okay. So React is again a framework which is using these three technologies. So basically these are the building blocks of various frameworks such as Vue, React, and Angular, and Electron. So these are the several frameworks that normally nowadays used for developing mobile as well as desktop application. A second reason why these technologies are becoming more and more popular is because of the cloud. So nowadays, every enterprise is going over, shifting towards the cloud, right? So cloud, what is cloud? It is not the part of this course, so I will not go into the detail of that. But because of the cloud technologies, the days are gone where you will be downloading the software and installing it on your machine. You will download and install, but you will not pay entirely. Nowadays, the model of the payment is like you use it and you pay for the usage. For example, if you have used any particular software for 1 hour or 1 day, then you will only pay for that period of time. Okay, you are not buying the entire software, but you are just renting the software. So such kind of services are nowadays available, and these are normally called in the cloud terminology as software as a service. Okay, so there are basically three types of service: software as a service, platform as a service, and there are infrastructure as a service. So these three kind of service normally the cloud offers, and all these kind of service, the front end or the user interface that you will see or you will find out is the web based. And if you are using any web based front end, then obviously the technology behind it is HTML and CSS. You can see, even in case of Android and iOS application development, the interface is developed with the help of XML or similar to XML type of languages. Now, if you know HTML and CSS, you will also understand what is XML, because XML is a superset of HTML, right? So when you learn these kind of technologies, okay, you will also be able to understand the user interface development in iOS as well as in Android if you want to work on the native technology. But it is quite possible that, or rather it happens nowadays, that you develop the software using these three technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then you compile it or convert it into the Android application or iOS application, right? So see, there is some survey I have kept over here. So there is one site called as, or there is one organization called as Stack Overflow. Okay, now this is the Stack Overflow is the most used, okay, help reference site by the programmers all over the world. And this Stack Overflow, if you post any question, or if you want to have some information about any doubts in your mind, then normally programmers go over this website called as Stack Overflow. Now this Stack Overflow have normally carries out the survey every year, and this is the graph, one of the graph I have shown here, which tells you what is the popularity of the language. Or the question was asked like, which technology or the languages you want to learn, okay, in 2020. And these were the responses. So near about 65,000 developers have responded to this survey. And you can, as you can see, the JavaScript is at the number one. It is total 67.7, and HTML and CSS is at the number second, that is 63.1%. And then SQL, then Python, Java, okay, C hash, PHP, TypeScript, C++. So nowadays, more and more developers want to learn this JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, because as I have already told, the many of the framework that have come up, okay, in the market uses the three basic technologies. So this survey was carried out. You can go through this URL. Okay, I will be sharing this PPT slide on the GitHub repository. So you can go through this after the course is completed. And in addition to that, I have created one channel, that is Code Prime, which is my channel. Now I will be posting all the exercises which are hands-on. That means I will perform the practical, and you at your leisure time can watch that video, and side by side you can follow along with the videos, and you can perform whatever the assignments I have given or I have demonstrated in those videos, right? So currently I have posted on that channel 2 videos, and which I have given the links to that in the WhatsApp group. So I advise you that you go to that channel, go to those videos, see it, because these 2 videos are the essential part for the subsequent session. Your editor and everything should be ready for that. So I will be also posting several other videos time to time. So if you subscribe to that channel, you will get the notification, and you can perform the assignments. So this is what is the importance of these 3 technologies. So normally you should search for these 2 terms on the internet, that is PWA, that is Progressive Web App. Okay, it is the new technology coming since last 4 years, and it is now matured enough. And almost every major software player is going for this technology. It is a in between the mobile application and web application. It has the advantages of both mobile application as well as web application. So now, since we will discuss this PWA later in the course, but I wish that, or rather I will ask you to go over the Google after the session completes, and search over and read about this PWA. The long form is Progressive Web Application. Okay, or if you type PWA, you will get the help in the Google. And also you study what is hybrid mobile apps. Okay, so if you study these 2 technologies, you will understand how it is important that we should learn now HTML and CSS, so that we can create the user interfaces. Okay, software without user interface is a bit you can say tricky. Okay, normally the server side programming does not care for the user interfaces, but to begin with, okay, you must have the user interface to interact with the software. So because of the cloud, as we have discussed, the web-based, you need to design UI using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so there are so many client-side frameworks such as Angular, React, Ionic, Electron, JS, which are popular nowadays and need HTML, CSS, and JS. So I advise all of you that you should go and search, okay, these 3 technologies, right? Electron, Angular, React, and Ionic. So these are the 4 technologies which are developed, okay, using these 3 languages, or you can say technologies. Okay, these are frameworks. Okay, these are kind of libraries. So I will just go through these 3 sites one by one, and we will see. See, unless and until we don't understand the importance, we don't develop the interest. So first we will see this framework or library, you can say, Ionic. Okay, so this is the one of the popular user interface framework nowadays used by most mobile application development team and the desktop application development team. Okay, this is called as Ionic. So if you go to this site and just explore this site, okay, you will see, so this is a pre-designed UI components. Okay, and this is a write once, run anywhere, and you can see here whatever the terms I have discussed: progressive web app, okay, web application, okay, hybrid application. Okay, you can see here, right? Java, JS means JavaScript framework. So this is the technology which is happening, okay, nowadays, and you can see Ionic components are written in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? So these Ionic components themselves are written in this. So unless and until you understand these 3 technologies, you will not be able to work with these components. If you want to tweak or you can change some behavior of these components and look and feel of these components, you have to go and tweak or change some code which is written for that particular component. And these are all open source projects. That means the source code is available. So you can see. So this is one of the technology. And if you can see, there are so many UI components that you can have. And this is what normally you will see on your mobile. Okay, so buttons, cards, checkboxes. Okay, so these are all different types of okay UI components which are developed and designed using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? So obviously, since all of you use the mobile and whatever you see on the screen that to which you interact, okay, these are all developed uh, using such kind of technologies. Okay. Now the uh, second technology that or framework rather that I would like you to show is Angular. Now, this Ionic is a user interface library, that is UI library. Okay, these are ready-made available. You can use it directly in your mobile as well as desktop application. Okay, but if you want to develop your own user interfaces, okay, because normally if you use from the library, there are limitations. You are bounded by the limitation that that particular library has. But if you want to develop from scratch, okay, from start, so this Angular is the one of the popular framework, which is nowadays this framework is developed by the Google and various popular Google application that you see over the internet, such as Gmail. Okay, these are all developed using the Angular, right? If you visit the docs, right? So again, this is also these docs assume that you already familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That means you are familiar with these technologies, then only you will be able to understand this Angular framework. Okay, rather Angular framework is written using TypeScript, which is similar to JavaScript. There is no difference. Only thing is that it is more uh, what you can say object oriented and type safe, right, than the JavaScript. Don't bother about this. We will understand this concept later in the due course of time. But only here I am my motive over here is to give you the importance of these three technologies, right? We understand that you learn C, C++, Java, but these are programming languages, okay? And user interface design is there in the Java, but nowadays, okay, user interface is designed using Java. No, normally it is not used in the Android application also, or neither in the desktop application. Moreover, most of the user interfaces nowadays are designed using these technologies, either using XML or using HTML and CSS, right? Even in the iOS also, uh, these three technologies are used, right? And the last library that I want to show you is the material.io. Now I will be sharing this slide, so don't worry about the resources. I will at the end of the video also I will tell you where you will get these resources. Now this is again another Angular material library. Okay, this is a material design component similar to Ionic. Okay, similar to the Ionic. This is a UI library. That means you will have the ready-made user interfaces designs. Okay, such as date picker. Okay, input, okay, toggles, so such like a component like this, okay, sliders, all these components normally you see buttons, okay, on your in your mobile application. So these all are developed using HTML and CSS. As you can see, this is the code for this, right? So this is what these, for example, these are the buttons. Okay, so if you see the code of these buttons, these are developed using HTML and CSS and TypeScript means JavaScript. Okay, you can replace JavaScript with TypeScript, or you can replace these are equivalent. Okay, TypeScript and JavaScript. TypeScript gets compiled into JavaScript. Their compilers are available, right? So this is why I have emphasized when the Phatak sir told me to design the course for second year. So I thought that this is the basic languages that every computer science graduate should know nowadays, because this is what the user interface design is going in that particular direction. Okay, and normally when you develop user interfaces, these are quite you can say interesting exercises, and you enjoy designing user interfaces because it involves art as well as uh, you can say technology. So it is a combination of art and technology, so it is quite enjoyable rather than coding if while, okay, Normal user interface designs are quite enjoyed by the students because it involves some kind of, or in some or the other way, some type of art, right? You deal with the look and the feel and the application. So this is quite interesting. So this is what is the importance of web technologies, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I hope you understood why I am emphasizing on these three technologies and why you should learn this in the second year itself. Now, at the end of this course, each and every one of you will be designing three projects. Okay, two projects in this course and another project as a project within the group. So each and every one of you will get the certificate who have registered for this course, and at the end of this course we will be holding a project competition, and we will form a group of 3 to 4 students maximum, and then we will hold a project competition. I will be giving you some assignments, project topics, and each group will work on that project for at least for a week, I guess. And I will be demonstrating each and every step during that project also. It is not like that I have given the project assignment and you have to do it on your own. I will be involved in each and every step, and we will, at the end of the project you will be able to design a professional web application. So my thought is that why not to go and develop a web application, not a website, but a web application for our college, and so that we can continue throughout the years, and that will be a very fun to develop. Okay, you can have so many ideas to be implemented, your student bodies, your department, everything you can keep on that particular site. We can have one, you can say, chat room also. Okay, so many ideas we can have. We'll discuss that later on, but this is what is my aim. And don't think this is very huge. Yes, it is huge concept, and I'm sure that in this coming 6 months we will be able to do this, because due to corona your examinations will start in April, and we have plenty of time. At least I require 3 hours per week. After this course is over, I will be in touch, and we will be developing these projects. But during this course, you will be developing two projects as you have gone through the brochure of this course, right? Fine. So, so you need all these three to become a web developer. So you are now understood what is the importance, why it is required, right? So we have to learn these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, remind you that these technologies, HTML first came in 1994 when the web came, HTML came, okay, and CSS came in 1996. Okay, and so these three technologies are in the mid of 90s, and so at least these are there for last 25 years. So obviously there are a lot of concepts there, and if you go over the internet, there are so many courses available over there. But the problem is, since it is a very old, it is existing since last 25 years, every teacher or every course which is available over there teaches different aspect. But in last 4 years, since the HTML5 and CSS3 have came, and JavaScript 2000 JS 2018 version, yes, 2018, a lot of things have changed. So this, I will not be teaching you everything in the HTML and CSS. I will be teaching you only those things which are required and necessary, because there are a lot of concepts there and which are old, which are outdated, which are normally not used. As far as layout is concerned, nowadays layout will be designed using flex and grid. Okay, don't bother about these terms, you will get it later on. So I will be covering the latest concepts, not the old concept. Okay, so even if you can find many courses on the YouTube, many courses on other websites, okay, which are paid courses. Okay, but this course is latest, and I will be mostly focusing on the technologies and the things which are included in the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the last 4 to 5 years. Okay, not before that. So this is very much modern course, or it is a you can say advanced course. You can say that. So let us understand basically first what is HTML, what is CSS, and what is JavaScript, right? So as you can see on the screen, I have some graphics over here. So this is HTML, this is CSS, and this is JavaScript, right? So you can see what is HTML is, you can see it is a skeleton. So, and CSS, you can see it shows as a one finely dressed up guy. And then below the JavaScript, you are seeing the cartoon. That particular boy is playing or doing some activity. So you can say that this is this implies a structure. This implies the structure, right? This implies structure. This implies look and feel, and this implies behavior. So these three technologies, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, these are related with these three concepts. So whatever you see on your browser, okay, whatever you see on the browser, okay, these things, or you can normally you can say elements or components which you normally see on the web pages or your browser screen, these are made up of these three things: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So what is the role of the HTML? What it is? HTML provides the basic structure of sites. Okay. So what you see on the site is what is defined by the HTML. Okay. These are HTML elements. Okay. So which is enhanced and modified by other technologies such as CSS and JavaScript. Right. So HTML gives you the basic structure. So normally, if you can see on the if you can see this website, you can see these are the text. These are some colors. Okay, so there is some. You can see there is paragraph, right? There is highlight. There is one this icon. So all these things, okay, these are given by the HTML. But HTML does not give any look. It has a basic look, default look, but that default look is not appreciable. Okay, it is very ugly. And normally we have to design the look and feel of that particular screen, or you can say page or a document, right? So that presentation, formatting, and layout. So these are the three things that you normally control with the help of CSS, right? So presentation, what presentation components you have? You have color, right? Then you have bold, sorry, bold, italic. So if you have a text, then you have a color and something like that. So presentation is mainly related with the color and shading and animation. Formatting is mainly related with the how you place the particular element or the component within that particular page or document. And the layout is how you are placing those documents. What is the relationship between different elements within that documents as far as uh, uh, space in between them is concerned. Okay, margin is concerned. So all these terms we will be learning. Okay, and this is comes under the CSS part. And then the JavaScript is what it is deals with the behavior. So whenever you click, you can see this is a button, but whenever you click on this button, see there is one, when the pointer hovers over that particular button, it changes to the pointer changes, right? Correct. And when you click on that button, then something, see the ripple effect comes. So this such kind of behavior is you can say achieved with the help of CSS and JavaScript, right? If it is a behavior related with the graphics, okay, look and feel, then it is combined with the JavaScript. As well as if when you click on the button, you go on to the different websites, okay. So this is what is the behavior, how that particular element or component on the web page or the document behaves is what is dealt with the JavaScript. So normally we call it as events. Okay. Let us not bother about these terms right now. We will learn them in the due course of time, right? So basic thing you have to understand over here is that HTML provides the basic structure of the web page, okay, or the document. Now here I will use the term document as well as web page, okay, synonymously, right? So HTML provides the basic structure of the web page or documents, right? And then these web pages and documents, they are enhanced for the look and feel with the help of CSS and JavaScript, right? So you just remember that HTML gives the structure, CSS gives the representation, formatting and layout, and JavaScript gives the behavior. So now in this course, we will be using one JavaScript library called as jQuery. Okay, jQuery stands for JavaScript query. Okay, we will as such we will not learn the JavaScript language. We will learn only this part, that is jQuery, and that is also really little bit. Okay, but in the latter section, part 2 of this course, which we will be covering in the after your examination, we will in thorough go into the JavaScript, or rather not JavaScript but the TypeScript, and we will go into the Angular framework. So my aim is that all of you learn this Angular framework and Ionic framework. So we will go into that technology framework and we will learn that. But in this course, we will stick only to the basic, and that is only the jQuery, right? Fine. So this is what is needed to become a web developer or a user interface designer. You have to understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let us understand what is HTML is made up of. Okay, I will just stop for the 2 minutes and let me get some feedback. Whether the sound is clear, whether my speed of teaching is okay, or whether it is too fast. Okay, since the earlier part was a bit theoretical, I have just kept on talking, but while I am teaching, the pace will be very moderate. So is there any issues for understanding? If it is there, well, please let me know at this point of time only. Anyone? I will just stop here for 2 minutes before continuing further. If you have any doubts or if you have any problem related with the presentation, okay, or the lecture, please let me know. Yes, anyone? If you don't have, say no.
No, sir.
Are you getting everything
No,
that
sir.
I am teaching?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everything
Yes.
is
Okay. Sanika Shirke?
Yes, sir.
हा श्रेया शिर्के सिस्टर आहेत का तुमच्या? इथले स्टुडंट आहेत ना?
हा,
आय
sir.
गेस इथले स्टुडंट आहेत ना? आय गेस पण मागच्या याला पास आउट झाले.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So is there any problem, Sanika?
No, sir.
Yeah, you are getting everything, no? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. मला जे नावं माहिती आहेत मी त्यांचेच कॉल आउट करतोय. अजून कोण कोण माहिती आहे मला? नारायणकर आहेत का? नारायणकर आले? ओके. ढेपे?
Yes, sir.
हा. आर यू गेटिंग? इज देयर एनी इश्यूज?
Yes.
कळतंय ना?
हा सर.
ओके ओके. सो आता माझा पेस थोडा मॉडरेट असेल. I will not be discussing a lot of things, so I will be morely focused on understanding. So now we will start with the concept of HTML. Okay, so be attentive and keep some notebook beside you and start taking some notes if because I will be telling you something which later on you will require when you are doing some exercises. So I request you, or rather I expect you that you sit with the pen and paper or pen and notebook, and write down whenever I say so, or if there are some references to be taken down. Fine. So shall we move ahead? I guess everyone is getting it, and we shall continue. Fine. So let us start with one by one. What is HTML and what is CSS? Okay. So what happens whenever I will just demonstrate. Whenever I type something, now see, your mobile application such as Paytm is also a browser. The only thing is that that browser is not used for visiting different websites, but the only one website, that is Paytm. It always communicates with the Paytm server. And that is why you don't have this address bar and everything. Now this browser is the general purpose. You can visit any website or any server which speaks HTTP protocol over the internet. But in case of Paytm or Instagram, those are hard coded to communicate with only one server, that is Instagram or Paytm. Instagram is developed using these thread technologies. Okay, so whatever you are seeing on the Instagram, Facebook, okay, Paytm, these are all web pages. Okay, but obviously you don't have the interface of that particular software which is similar to the browser, but internally it is a browser which is normally called as a web view, right? So I will not go into the detail of that at this point of time, but what you are here you have to understand is whenever I type www dot okay google.com, what happens is that my request goes to the Google server, and when that request goes, okay, Google server returns me several pages or several documents, and one of the document is index.html, right? And that index.html contains the HTML code. So if I click here and see the view source, page source, you'll find this is what is the actual code which has been written to me by the Google server. And this code is what is interpreted or understood by the browser. And then whatever you get over the screen like this is the effect of this code. So your browser reads this codes, parses, processes these codes, which is normally called as a parsing, and then it creates something which is called as a document object model, or in short called as a DOM tree, DOM tree. Okay, and this is what that DOM tree is internally represented in the memory, and then it applies the cascading style sheet, that is CSS styles on that page, and then you will find out such kind of look and feel, right? So this HTML, what it is HTML, what this HTML is, so let us understand that. So each and every HTML, so normally what is HTML document? The single page that you can see over this, okay? So this is called as HTML document. Do you understand? This web page is normally by developer is called as a document, right? So this document consists of HTML document is a text file, okay? And what is the extension of that text file? Extension is .html. So this HTML document is a text file with the extension .html. So your website and web application contains many such files. Your website and web application such as Gmail contains many such files, right? So each file which your application or your website is made up of, which is normal. So each file is called as a document. Each HTML file is called as a document. And that HTML file consists of many HTML elements, right? So hierarchy, have you got the hierarchy? You have the server, whenever you request to the server always returns you the HTML file. So this HTML file we normally, as a developer, we call it as document, correct? So each document is made up of several HTML elements, right? And each HTML element is made up of three parts, okay? It has an opening tag, it has some contents, and it has some closing tag, okay? So each HTML element is consist of an opening tag, a content, and the slash and a closing tag. So we will first, in this session, we will understand very frequently used HTML tag so that we can write down the HTML elements. Are you getting this? I will repeat again. Each HTML document, or normally dot extension HTML file, which is also called as HTML document, consists of several HTML elements. And this HTML element is made up of three things. Okay, opening tag, content of that tag, and closing tag. Right now, this content. So as I was saying, that every HTML file, when you request to the server, okay, what server does? It sends the HTML file. Okay, so this HTML file is normally we developer call it as document, and this is what is shown on the screen by the browser. So this document is parsed, or that is also means read. Okay, so it is passed by the web browser, and it understands each and every element of it, and then it process those elements and show it on the screen. So every document is made up of HTML elements. Every document is made up of HTML elements. So there are so many elements, thousands of them in a particular web document. Okay, so if I show you the Google website, okay, let me show you the Google website, and I will show you the source code. So that Google website, whatever the index.html file, which is a first HTML file, it is not the only one. Normally, any website or web application contains many such HTML files. Okay. So whenever I type this google.com, okay, the file that is sent or document that is sent to me by the server contains several files. So if I see the source, and this is what is the several elements. Okay, now many of these elements are HTML. Now you obviously you will not be able to understand this, and it is not expected from you also to understand it. Okay, this is somewhat clumsy, but what we are going to understand is this HTML element. So every document contains this HTML element, and this HTML element itself is made up of three things: opening tag, content, and closing tag. Okay, now several elements do have only opening tag, they don't have the closing tag. Okay, we'll see that. So when we are learning HTML, what we are learning these different tags, right? With this, how to create the different types of element. So one element may be showing a paragraph text in your document. Some elements may be used for showing pictures. Some element may be used for showing sound or movie. Some elements may be used for showing some graphics on your website. So each and everything that you normally see on the web page or the web document is made up of HTML elements, and those HTML elements are in turn are made up of these three things: opening tag, content, and closing tag, right? So normally the opening tag is has some predefined name. Okay, so if I want a paragraph, then I will use this p tag. Now this opening tag for the paragraph is enclosed within the angular brackets. So this is called as angular brackets, and inside that the name of the tag. Okay, here the name of the tag is p. Here p stands for paragraph. Now we will there are almost there are thousands of tags in the HTML, but most frequently are hardly 25 to 30. And in this course, we will learn only those, because those many tags, normally 90% of the work is done. Okay, you don't need, if you need some specific element, then you may refer the library and you can refer the reference manual of the HTML and you can study. But normally 25 to 30 tags are sufficient to develop 90% of the web application that we want to work with, right? So opening tag, and then the content and the closing tag. So in this figure, you can see that here I have defined one paragraph. The content of the paragraph is my dog is very cute. And that paragraph must be enclosed in this paragraph tag, which is called as a p tag. So this opening tag. So this opening tag contains this angular bracket. Okay, inside that angular bracket, the name of the tag, and when the contents are over, you close that tag with the closing tag, where closing tag has same thing, only additionally is the this slash. Okay, backward slash, right? This is a backward slash forward slash असा असतो पुढे झुकलेला, आणि backward slash असा मागे झुकलेला असतो, right? So this is the backward slash, correct? So these three together form the HTML element, as you can see, right? So don't bother. We will have some hands-on, and you will get it. Okay, each and every tag that we are going to use. So this is the syntax. This is how you write down the HTML element: opening tag, content, and closing tag. The closing tag, only difference between opening tag and closing tag is that closing tag has this backward slash in front of the tag name, right? Okay. So let us move ahead, and we will install the editor, which is called as a bracket. Now here I expect that all of you go to the my channel, which is called as Code Prime. Okay. I expect that you all of you go to the Code Prime channel. And within this channel, I have given whether this is visible to you, this Code Prime channel. Hello.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, so in this Code Prime channel, there are two videos. I advise you to go through these videos, because here I have shown you how to install this bracket editor, and there are several extensions that you need to install. Okay, so this is very easy to follow along. You just go through that video and install this bracket extension. So yesterday I have posted these videos, and I have also given the URL in the WhatsApp group. So I think many of you have seen those videos, because I could see the view count. But today, after this session, go to this channel and see these videos. I will be also posting some more videos in the evening, right? So you subscribe that channel, because you will get the notification whenever I post some videos. Now, why I'm using this YouTube channel, why I'm not teaching everything on the Teams, because it is very difficult to have everything contained in the session. Okay, so I expect that this session you will understand the concept, while the hands-on or the practical, I need to have you your leisure time, and within your leisure time you do your practicals and assignments. So I will be posting the assignments in the form of video lectures, and as well as I will use another website called as GitHub. Okay, and I will be, this is my GitHub. I will show you how to go over there, and there is one repository, and here I will share the code that I have given in the exercise. So you can refer that code in case of any issues, right? So this GitHub and repository and this YouTube channel, I will be extensively using for delivering the assignments, the hands-on assignments. So each and every assignment I will demonstrate how to do. And in the GitHub repo, I will give additional assignments for which I will not be doing any video, but you have to do it on your own. After you see my assignments, video assignments, and perform those practicals, these extra assignments will be very easy to perform. And this will give you the confidence, and you will understand the concept better, right? So I suggest that you should go and see these videos, because I'm expecting that you know it. So I have throughout this course, what we are going to do, we will be using the bracket, which is a editor used for the web programming, right? Fine. So this is the bracket editor. Now this bracket editor is very, very, very useful. Okay. And there are several extensions. If you go along with the videos, there are several extensions that we need. Okay. If you don't install those extensions, which I have told in the video, okay, this video, okay. If you don't install those extensions, your editor may behave differently than me. Okay, so it will become difficult for you to program. And one of the important edit extension is Emmet, right? So this Emmet must be there, right? So this is very, very essential, because HTML code in a particular document goes around about thousands of lines, and it is quite impossible for anyone to type thousands of lines on his own or her own, right? So Emmet is the HTML code generator. Okay, it generates the code just by using some shortcuts, right? So I will demonstrate this, don't worry. So now let us, so this is called as a editor called as bracket. Now what we have to do first is we have to create a folder. Right? We have to create a folder. So whenever you have any project, I advise that each and every project you create a separate folder for that, right? So here I have this course folder, and within this I have this session one, and within this session one I have this created one folder called as code. So you may have any folder structure you want, but I advise you create a one folder for every session, okay, on your system, and just open that folder, select that folder. I have selected this code folder, okay, select that folder, and within this folder itself we will be having few. Yes, anyone? कोणाचा तरी mic चालू झालाय, please check. Okay. Okay, so within this folder, we will be creating several files, correct? So now I have already created a few files. So how to create a file? You just go in the file menu and click new, and a new file will be created, which will be untitled. So what you have to do, you have to just right click it. After right clicking it, what I have done is I have just gone and I have created one folder, and I have opened that folder, and within that folder I have created one file. How do I create that file? Going into the file menu and then clicking the new. When I click on the new, there will be one untitled file created. So here what I have to do, go to that untitled file, whatever the file is there, and just right click your mouse button and you save it. And when you click on the save it, you will get here the save as box, right? So here just give the name index.html. Now I have already created an index.html file, so I will not, I will give another name. But in your case, you should give index.html because index.html is the first file. Okay, so when you do that and just save, okay, it will get created, right? So this is temp.html, fine, right? So I have already created this index.html file, which I will be sharing with you. The code I will be sharing with you. Okay, so this is the HTML file and this is the HTML document. Okay, today we will only focus on the HTML. Later on we will see how other things can be brought together. Have you understood this much? What you have to do? Create a folder, create a file, rename that file and save it with the extension .html. Unless and until you save your file with the .html extension, okay, your browser will not be able to understand what is there inside. Okay, so the .html extension is very, very important. Fine. Okay, any issues? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, so first thing, let us understand the structure of HTML document. Now HTML document, as I have already told you, is made up of several elements. So line by line, so when a HTML file is given to the browser, it scans it, it reads it from top to bottom, line by line, and parses each and every element, and whatever that element represents, it displays it on the screen. This is how it behaves. And normally that process is called as a parsing. Okay, so the first tag that you have to give when you are using the HTML5 is doc type. Now here, as you can see, this is the advantage of using brackets editor. Whenever you type, the moment you type the opening angular bracket, it is giving you the all the tags. So you don't have to remember each and every tag. Okay, गरज नाही आहे तुम्हाला प्रत्येक tag remember करायची. Bracket will readily give you the name of the tag. So here I want to have a doc type. Now this doc type is not a tag basically. It is just an instruction to the browser that which type of document it is. So this is required for the HTML5. Sorry, this is required for the HTML5. This is required for the HTML5. Right? So this is the first. This is not a tag. This is not a HTML element. but this is the information you have to write down first whenever you are dealing with the HTML file. If you don't do this, if you don't put this inside your HTML file, what will happen is that your browser will think that this is not an HTML5. 5 means version 5. So it will treat your HTML code as an old HTML3 or HTML4, whatever the version it has. And obviously that will use the old technology, and whatever you have written, okay, using HTML5 will not be properly rendered or displayed on the screen. Okay, so you may be wondering what is happening. So basically, whenever you have to tell the web browser that it is the HTML5 that you are using, you have to put this, okay, code in the first line of your file. Okay, it is opening angular bracket, exclamation symbol, then in capital doc type. Doc means document type, and then space, and then in small HTML. Okay, so this will tell the browser that it is HTML5. You don't have to put 5 after the HTML, only HTML. Okay. Okay. Now this is the first line of the your HTML file. Now the second line that you have to write in your HTML file is HTML document is made up of HTML elements, right? So the first tag that you have to write down is HTML. So this is the root of the all the elements. So this is the parent of all the elements. So all the elements comes within this HTML. It encompasses all the elements as its body, right? So this is the first tag you have to type, right? So I will demonstrate how to do that. So you can't see my keyboard what I'm doing, but I will just talk what I'm doing. So what I have done, I have just typed the opening angular bracket. Then I have typed HT. The moment I have typed HT, this HTML is shown to me by the brackets editor. So I don't want to type M and L. So what to do? I will simply press enter. When I press enter, what will happen? It will select whatever is there, okay, highlighted by the blue. So if I press here now enter, what has happened? It has completed the tag name. Okay, and then the moment I close this tag by pressing closing angular bracket, what bracket has done? It has completed the entire element, and now it is waiting for the content. Have you got what I have said? I will just repeat again. You could not see the keyboard, but what I am doing, I am just telling you. I have typed the opening angular bracket, and then I have typed HT. Okay, what the name of the tag is HTML. So I have typed the HT, and HTML has appeared. So I will simply press enter. So it has completed the tag name. The moment I close the tag with the closing angular bracket, what brackets editor will do? It will complete the entire element, and it will wait for the content. So this is why I have told you that brackets is very, very important. You can use Notepad, Notepad++, but as far as web application development is concerned, bracket and the Visual Studio Code, these are the mostly used editors because they help us. Okay. So now this HTML, what are the contents of the HTML? Contents of the HTML is the entire document tags, right? So you press enter and automatically you will get this space. This is called as indentation. Okay, so this space is automatically inserted by the bracket. So this is indentation. So whatever tags that you will be writing, okay, goes inside the body of the HTML. We call it as body. So whatever appears in between this HTML opening and closing tag is called as body of the HTML, right? Or it is called as a child elements of the HTML. So here HTML will become parent element, and the elements which we will type over within this HTML tag is called as child elements. Okay, so we can say that HTML tag or HTML element is the parent of each and every element in the HTML document. I will repeat what I'm saying. We say that HTML tag or HTML element is the parent of each and every, okay, a tag or element of the HTML document. So this is the first tag or first element. Okay. After that, what you have to do? After that, the next element that goes inside the HTML document is the head. Okay. So this is the head. So we have header and head. We have to use head. So I will press enter. It has completed. The moment I press closing curly bracket, it will complete the head. Now as a content, you have to press enter and create a get that end tag in the next line. Okay, so this is the head tag. And after the head tag, the next we have to have the body tag. And this body tag is the tag which contains the actual visible part of the HTML document. So every HTML document must have these three tags: HTML tag, head tag, and body tag. Understood? The head tag is used to have several things. Okay, these are normally used to instruct the browser. Head tags are used to instruct the something on the browser. Okay, whatever you give inside the head tag will not be visible on the page. Okay, these are the these elements inside the head tag are used by the browser. What are these? We will understand later on in due course of time. But whatever you put inside the body tag is what is will be visible on the web page. Okay, so whenever you type, whatever you type inside the body tag becomes visible on the web page or on the browser, while whatever you type inside the head tag, okay, is the instruction given to the browser to perform certain additional tasks. Fine. So normally what we do, we create this half screen. I have just minimized it. I have just dragged and kept this bracket screen in the half. And what I will do, I will open the Google Chrome browser. Actually, I don't have to open it. Okay, so this is the three text. What I will do now. Now, can you see here? There is one. Can you see the mouse? Okay, I will use the pen. So here you can see there is one lightning. Okay. There is one lightning kind of symbol on the bracket. Okay, on the upper hand right corner. It is called as a live preview. Okay, when you click it, what it will do? It will create a connection with the Google Chrome browser. Right. So this Google Chrome browser I will put aside. Okay, by minimizing it side by side. Right. So this has turned into yellow. Okay, orange color. So the connection between this document and the browser has been established, and you can see here, you can see this is a URL 127.0.0.1 and temp.html. So whatever I type inside the body, what will happen? You can see it is appearing over there. It is appearing over there, correct? So whatever you type inside the body tag, okay, will get displayed on the page. And whatever you type on the head tag obviously will not get displayed on the page, because within the head tag you normally give the instructions to the browser. There are several things we will study later on, and these are not meant to be displayed on the page. Understood? So this is what these are the three main tags. Fine. Now obviously I have told you about the emmet. Why I have emphasized so much to install the emmet is because of this. Now I have typed this line right? Now without typing this line, I can generate this content of the entire content of the HTML page, blank content, by using this shift, this exclamation mark, and if after that if I press tab, automatically what has happened? Have you seen what has happened? I will just repeat again. Control Shift A, delete. What I have done? Shift 1 means exclamation mark. I have typed, and after that I have pressed which key? Tab key. I will repeat. I have typed the exclamation mark symbol, and after that I have pressed the tab key. Tab. Where is the tab key? Beside the Q symbol or Q, there is a one tab key. All of you must be knowing the tab key on your keyboard. So after you press the tab key, what this emmet does, okay, for that you must have this emmet enabled, okay, on your brackets editor. So this is what is the beauty of the emmet. It generates the code with the help of some shortcuts, and it will help you a lot whenever you want to create some HTML snippet, code snippet, right? So this is what is generated by the emmet. So that's why I have told that emmet is very, very essential. Now, within this header tag, let us first understand what is the head tag. So within this head tag, we have several other tags. So this first tag is called as meta. Meta means metadata. So it is telling the browser that, see, the character set I'm using is UTF-8. Now in computers, there are several character sets available. See, because you are using Chinese language, Marathi language, English language, you can write the content in n number of languages, right? So which character set you are using? Okay, you have to tell the browser. So since we are using the, see here HTML, the language is English and we are using the character set UTF-8. So normally if you don't do this, by default it takes that only. Okay, so no worries. But it is better that you do it, right? And then the second tag that we have in the head tag is title. Okay, so the content of the head tag are these two tags. Okay, and normally we call it as head is a parent of meta and title, and we call meta and title are siblings. म्हणजे ते भाऊ भाऊ आहेत किंवा बहिणी बहिणी आहेत, right? So head is a parent of meta and title. So this is called as a tree-like structure. Okay, let's not go into that. We will understand in the due course of time, right? So what is this title is used? This title is used to give the title which appears over here. Can you see this mouse I'm moving this mouse here? You can say here document. Okay, so this document, how it appears as a heading of that particular page. So if I say NBN Sinhagad, okay, and save, what will happen? I refresh, see NBN Sinhagad, correct? So this title of the document has changed. So this title tag is used to give the title to this document or web page. And in addition to that, you have another tag which is called as link, and this link tag is very, very useful, right? So this link tag is a unit tag. That means it doesn't have any opening and closing. So link, then here you have type document. Okay. So this is the link tag. So this link tag has several properties. Now this is again another, you can say, concept that we have to learn. Every tag that you have several properties. You may use or you may not use those properties. But in case of link, these properties must be used. This is additional information that you tell to the browser. So here what you are saying, this link is, what is this? It is rel means relation property. So relation is icon. So it is telling that browser, see, this link is relation with the browser is, it is giving you the icon of which will get displayed over here. Can you see this mouse pointer moving over here? And beside this title of the page, you can see here, this is a icon. Okay, how to give this icon over here is what is being done by this link element. So here link element, then relation rel attribute or property, which says it is an icon. Then what is the type? Type is image ICO, image slash ICO. And what is the H reference? H reference means hyper reference. So it is referring this file favicon.ico. Now where is this favicon.ico file, icon file? It is available in this directory in which that temp.html file I have created, right? So how to create this favicon.ico file? I have posted one video, okay, on the YouTube yesterday. So you can see that how to create that favicon ICO file, and you just copy it into this folder where this HTML file exists, and you simply type this. So I will just once again type this entire command. So first is you have to tell relation. Relation is what? Relation is icon, right? Then next Type is what? Type is image slash ICO. And next you have to type href, hyper reference. Okay, and what is that? You just select the, see, the bracket is helping you. It will scan all the files and it will present what you want to refer to, hyper reference to. So I want to reference to this favicon.ico file, icon file. Okay, so when we do that and save and refresh, okay, you will see here that icon appears. Okay, you may not be able to see here. Also you can see this bracket. Now this bracket itself is, okay, developed I guess using this HTML, CSS and JavaScript, right? So this is one type of browser only, right? So this is a bracket icon, and here similarly you can give here the this whatever icon you want to give to your website. Okay, normally it is a company logo. Most of the time the company, if having the website, it is a company logo, right? So this is what is the head tag. So head tag does anything that you put inside the head tag is the instruction to the browser about the title and whatever the link you want to have inside your code. Okay, it is also used to give the link to the CSS. So we will see that in the CSS section. Okay, currently we will not bother about that because the conceptual understanding will happen only in this session, but the hands-on experience you will get it in the YouTube videos, and where you will also perform those assignments, right? And you have to submit those assignments. Okay, so today we have just seen what is the structure of the HTML document. So it has three tags, basically HTML, head and body. So within the head tag we have several other tags which are information given to the browser, and within the body tag whatever we place will get displayed on the screen. So in the tomorrow's lecture we will understand what are the different types of HTML tags that we can put inside this body tag as a child of this body tag. So whatever I have told you today and demonstrated today will be available as an exercise on the YouTube channel also. Okay, by the evening, so you can perform them. Okay, so let us move to the. So tomorrow I will just demonstrate this. Okay, in the assignments, and also we will practice it. Correct. So let us move ahead. So what has happened actually, let us understand this. So how does it works inside the browser? Now we are not going into the deep of this, but we need to understand what is happening inside the browser. So whenever your browser gets that document, okay, the CSS file, HTML file, and the JavaScript file that has been provided by the your server, so those files will get parsed by the browser and it will create a DOM. DOM means document object model. It creates a DOM tree inside the memory, and then whatever you so this is how it happens. It loads the HTML file, it parse it means reads, scans it from top to bottom, it understands each and every element. Then it also loads the CSS which is given in the head section with the help of a link tag. We will see that in the next section. So this loads this CSS, that parse this CSS. It also creates the DOM tree. After parsing, it attaches that CSS to the individual element of this DOM tree. And after this DOM tree is created, whatever you get as a DOM tree will get displayed after applying the CSS on the screen. So this is how the document is processed by your browser. It loads the HTML, it loads the CSS, it parses the HTML, it parses the CSS, then it creates the DOM tree, and then DOM tree is what is displayed on the screen. Okay, so here browser is acting like a painter, and DOM tree is the instruction given to the painter how to paint that page. Okay, so according to the instruction within this DOM tree, okay, that browser will paint whatever the web page you have designed over the browser or over the mobile screen or over the tablet screen, right? So we will not go into the detail, but when we go to the next part of this course, that is JavaScript, this DOM tree is very, very essential to understand when we are working with the jQuery or JavaScript. Okay, so in that session you will understand this DOM tree in little bit detail, but right now don't bother if you don't understand it. Okay, so this is what is normally a tree. Okay, so the first is Windows, whatever your browser window, then browser window has that HTML document. That HTML document has this HTML tag, and that HTML tag contains header tag and body tag, and that head tag contains the title, meta, link, and etc, etc, and the body tag contains the actual tags which are used for heading, image, paragraph, etc, etc. So this is a kind of a DOM tree. Now this is just a representation. The actual DOM tree is quite complex and very difficult to understand. Okay, we normally don't go directly visualizing that, but this is how is the example of a DOM tree. So DOM tree stands for document object model. So I will be using this term quite frequently, so that's why you have to understand it. Okay, right now don't go into no need to go into the detail of this DOM tree, what it is, how it is. Just understand it is a DOM tree. So your document is converted into an object which is called as a tree object, and that tree object is called as document object model. And this tree object is what is processed by your browser, and whatever instructions are given, okay, is rendered or displayed on the screen. Okay, so this is what is the DOM. So this is what is the introductory part of the your HTML. So right now this session is finished. So if you have any question, if you don't understand anything, let me know so that I can cover it in the next session as well as here itself or in the YouTube session.